the Mannequin Monster from the Silent Hill franchise. Silent Hill is one of the best survival horror games to exist. It is renowned for its stellar plot that can put movies to shame, creepy monsters, and its rustic alternate reality of the Otherworlds where all the eerie events unfold. As a result, it is only natural for the game to branch out into a movie franchise. However, it is important to remember that the game universe and the film universe are from separate continuities despite the obvious inspiration. In 2006, the first Silent Hill movie was released, which was followed by a sequel approximately 6 years later. In the sequel, we got to see a very disturbing creature that the lead character almost got killed by. Yes, we are talking about the Mannequin Monster. It didn't get a lot of screen time, which is unfortunate, but it did leave quite the impact on the audience with its awfully terrifying design. In today's video, we're going to talk about how the main character of the movie, Heather, came across the creature, how the creature behaved, and a possible symbolism behind why it is the way it is. Before diving into the content, we would like to make a very small, sincere request to our viewers. Please subscribe to Marvelous Videos, like and comment on our videos, and press the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload a new video. We are grateful for your support and we hope to bring you the best nerdy content. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Silent Hill Revelation, the truth that turned Heather's life upside down, 2012. Silent Hill Revelation is a horror and thriller film from 2012. It was directed by M.J. Bassett and was loosely adapted from the Silent Hill 3 video game. The movie follows a teenager named Heather Mason. She is trying to find her adoptive father who is in a town called Silent Hill in West Virginia. During the course of the movie, Heather gradually unveils the disturbing past surrounding the town and also learns more about her true origins. Heather suffers from recurring nightmares where she finds herself running away from a group of strange people. Her dark doppelganger had set her on fire, and that's when she woke up in a panic. Her father, Christopher Da Silva, comes to comfort her but is suddenly killed by a monster known as the Missionary. However, this too turns out to be a nightmare. She is later revealed to be an older Sharon Da Silva, sporting a new alias in this film, that of Heather, while her father Christopher goes by the name Harry. They changed their identities for protection against the Order, which is the antagonistic cult of Silent Hill. She lost her memories after the death of her mother, Rose, who had previously sacrificed herself. At school, Heather gets teased by a girl for her clothing. She also experiences a hallucination of a girl called Alessa, and soon after enters an alternate reality where her school has transformed into its otherworld version. She faces a monster with arms but is soon brought back to the so-called reality. Her hallucinations begin to get more intense with graphic imagery and disturbing monsters. She goes to a mall where Detective Douglas catches up with her. She soon learns that her father had killed someone from the Order to protect Heather from getting abducted and that the Order was still on the lookout for her. Suddenly, the Missionary attacks and kills Douglas, causing Heather to rush home. When she gets home, she learns that her father has been kidnapped and she has been summoned to Silent Hill, a place her father had prevented her from visiting. Meanwhile, she also finds the box full of information pertaining to the case.
This is it. Kept it all in here.
On the way to Silent Hill with her classmate Vincent, she reads her father's research and learns that she is the incarnation of Alessa Gillespie, a woman who was burnt alive. But before her death, she split her soul and dragged the Order to an alternate reality. Sharon, or Heather, was reincarnated with the good part of Alessa's soul. She rests at an inn with Vincent where she reveals herself to be a member of the Order who had fallen in love with her. Shocked by his lies, she causes the inn to shift into the underworld, where the monster known as the Missionary finally finds her. She enters Silent Hill where she meets Alessa's mother, Dahlia. The world around them begins to peel off into the other world once again, and Heather runs for her life. She ends up in a room filled with mannequins and meets another girl. They suddenly get attacked by a mannequin-like monster, which is what we are going to talk about in full detail. The Mannequin Monster. Heather runs into the disturbing mannequin monster in the Otherworld. Not too long ago, a woman had turned into a mannequin right in front of her eyes, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. She also meets a new girl called Suki when she was trapped in one of the spider webs of the monster. As the mannequin monster appears, it takes out the head of the woman and chases after Heather and the new girl, Suki. The duo is unable to escape as the exit door seems to be locked, and Suki is presumably killed. The creature isn't seen again until the black and white credit sequence where it assaults the dark nurses that are both humanoid and monstrous beings without discernible facial features. The dark nurses seem to be working together to take out the creep of a monster. When it comes to its appearance, we can say one thing without a doubt. Sid from Toy Story will love the mannequin monster. It looks like a spider with its multiple mannequin legs. Meanwhile, the upper body is just a lot of mannequin heads connected by mannequin limbs and torsos, which are in turn connected by what looks like flesh. Their webbing as a spider seems to be made of plastic, so the best way you can defeat the mannequin monster is by recycling it. Unfortunately, the CGI for the creature is a bit funny. Every mannequin head seems to have a different expression. The main head is the creepiest and the coolest part. Two halves of two different heads held by two different arms bring the two together to create a single mismatched head. It does have a pair of moving eyes, and its mouth sports the age-old Hollywood monster design with its leech-like appearance, but it adds originality by showing another mouth that is hidden underneath, just like the split worm from the Silent Hill 3 video game. The other heads were held above the torso by separate limbs and looked like they were in pain. We've already seen a human turn into a mannequin and then have its head ripped off by the monster. That's probably the reason for the crazy expressions. You wouldn't keep an attractive face while turning into plastic or having your head ripped off, would you? The masks of the monster become sentient when it grasps them. It inserts a tendril from a finger into the forehead area, but it doesn't seem to have much of a purpose, bearing shock value. What makes the mannequin really creepy is the way it has been created. We watched a woman turn into a mannequin and then have her head ripped off, which additionally became a part of the mannequin monster's body. This signifies that the monster is probably several human corpses knitted into one whole, and each of these mannequin heads displays expressions of despair mirroring the human souls that existed once and has now lost its autonomy and fallen victim to the monster's will. Naturally, with the creatures of the Silent Hill franchise, there's symbolism laced with the antagonistic creatures, but most of it often tends to be nothing more than theories. We don't know if it's canon or not, but these are popular speculations that seem to be pretty interesting. One of the speculations ties to Heather constantly changing her identity. As she was being pursued by the Order, she changed her name and location over and over again. As such, the mannequin could be a manifestation of her frustration from such a fickle and unstable life. It has been established that Alessa Gillespie has several identities, her good side being Heather Mason. Meanwhile, her rage controls Silent Hill. The mannequin having several heads could be a manifestation of Alessa Gillespie having to split her soul. Meanwhile, Dark Alessa, that is the Alessa that embodies her pain and suffering, also exists in the form of a 9-year-old. We're aware of the mannequin monster bearing a resemblance to the split worm due to its dual mouth characteristic. This could very much be because of Alessa's contrasting light and dark sides. Interestingly enough, we've only witnessed the mannequin monster attack women. The mannequins in the room seem to be female mannequins. The victims so far are women. Moreover, in the end credits, it tries to attack the dark nurses. All of these instances allude to Heather being vulnerable without her father's protection in Silent Hill. Despite all of this, the movie did not fare well in the eyes of the critics. Don't let that discourage you though. There are lots that goes down in a movie bearing the content of today's video. So it would definitely be a fresh watch. And with that, today's video comes to an end. What did you think of the mannequin monster? Did you enjoy this video? If yes, then don't forget to like and comment on the video. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.